Hello, everyone. So my name is Nina Pirk, and I work at the head office of the German Helpline Nummer gegen Kummer. And I am happy to be here today again, and I want to tell you a little bit about what we hear from young people, but also parents in counseling. So typical lines, on clicker. Did I do something wrong? Can it be? Okay. All right, thanks. So things we hear in counseling a lot is like, is it allowed? Will you really not tell my parents? No one can know about this. Also from parents we hear that they're worried and they don't understand what's going on online. And also very often, I don't know what to do, please help me. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about cases later on, but first let me give you a little introduction to our helpline services. So here you see our promotion material for the child helpline. So kids can call us at the 116-111. It's the same number for your helpline in Poland. And kids can also write a mail, which they prefer nowadays. We are also right now establishing a chat service, but yeah, in general, we often see in counseling that it's really hard for young people to reach out to the helpline. So we try to offer different ways of access to make it easier for them to get help for themselves. We also offer on Saturdays peer counseling in the project Youth Counseling Youth. So that's like an extra service if you want to talk to someone your age, if you just feel more comfortable with that. Again, to lower the barrier of access. We also offer a parents helpline. It's called the parents telephone. And in general, I would say the most important features about our helpline services are that they are easy to access. So they're free of cost, they're anonymous and confidential. And since we are a general helpline, young people and parents can call about anything. No matter what question or topic, we will be there and we will listen. So now let's, one word about our wonderful network. So I once asked one of our peer counselors, she's 21 now, why do you volunteer? And she said, you know, when I was younger, I always had someone to talk to. It was either my parents, which I really liked, or friends of my parents, even neighbors, or just my friends. And when I heard about the helpline and its services, I just thought, I can give this back to those who don't have anyone to talk to. And I thought, that's basically how I feel about working for the helpline. And I'm pretty sure that most of the volunteers which are engaged in our nationwide network of currently 91 local counseling centers, they feel the same about that too. So we just want to be there, have an open ear for whatever problems young people or also parents have. So there are about 3,000 specially trained volunteer counselors in our network, and they answer about 300 contacts every day. So now let's move forward to some cases I will present to you today. Please note that, of course, I did make changes to these cases because the protection of the personal data and information of those who contact us is really important to us. So I remember a couple of months ago when I had one of my shifts as a volunteer in online counseling. I received these lines from a girl. She was telling me about how she fell in love online and how it was so much fun, to text with this guy, and they had such great talks, and it was so much fun to go out there and flirt. There was also some sending of intimate pictures. Yeah, and then suddenly he was just gone. He would like not answer anymore, no more texts. And she was like, what's happening? I don't understand. But at some point she just kind of arranged with it. And for her, it was just over. And now she contacted the helpline because he had suddenly come back. He was here, he was back. He wanted to go back to where they left off. But she was like, no, this is like a long time ago. I'm not gonna just go back to where we left off. And then he got really angry and started threatening her. And it got worse and worse. And then at some point he threatened to send all her nudes, you know, out into the open online. And she was panicking because she really wanted to prevent that from happening. And she was like, what can I do? What can I do? And she was also very worked up about, you know, having the feeling that it was her mistake. Sending those pictures. So yeah, that was quite a long dialogue we had. You know, just trying to find ways for her to feel better and cope with, you know, being afraid. So another case I want to share with you today is just how you know, hard it can be to handle that, like your love life and relationships, either building them, being happy, but also breaking up. It's all out there on social media for everyone to see. So this guy called our helpline to talk about how hard it was for him to handle all of this. And now his ex-girlfriend had found new love, and there were all these happy pictures out there on Instagram, and he would see them and everyone else would see them. So he just felt really sad about it. And I guess we can see how hard it is for young people today to, you know, have all their lives out there and for everyone to see. Another case is we get these quite often. This is a case of sexting gone wrong. So this girl had shared some pictures. She didn't even go into much detail about it because she was really, really, really panicked, and she was like, no, I'm not going back to school, not ever, and I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. My pictures got out, everyone has seen it, people are laughing at me, I'm like the worst person in school now. Yeah, she was just really, yeah, I'd say she was panicked. So these type of contacts are not rare. So another case I thought it was really interesting to present to you in this session is this one. So this girl contacted us and told her story about how she had met this guy on Instagram, and you know, they had so many interests and talked so much, and it was all just so perfect and fun, and they texted every day for many hours. Everything was so great. So obviously she was really, really in love here. And she really wanted to meet this guy. She had talked to her parents about it, but of course, the parents said, no way, you have no idea who this person is. So she called the helpline to, you know, just present this situation and, of course, be angry about her parents also. So another case was from a guy. He had said that, you know, he'd been watching porn for a couple of years, like everyone does, you know, it's normal. And he had been to a party recently and met a girl. And I guess it sounded like there could have been an option to, you know, get physical. And he had just realized that he was just not interested. He was not interested in being physical. And then he started thinking and got worried if he was like, maybe not interested in real sex, and maybe if porn was the problem, because he had read something like that online. So yeah, he basically turned to the helpline to talk about sex and also about him being worried if porn made him sick. Okay, I also decided to present a case from the parents' telephone. So I chose this one from a father who was this was like a really quiet conversation. It was my colleague on the phone, and she was telling me about it. And she said this father had just been like, thinking about his son and being worried about his son for some time now, because he just spends so much time in front of his computer. Friends don't come over, he doesn't talk about friends. He watches online games a lot, but also some porn. The father said he'd seen it, and he just had started worrying, is my son happy, and what's going on online? Is this like dangerous for him? And how can I maybe talk to him? So to try to sum up a little, what we see at the helpline is that, feelings can be really, really overwhelming. So, like the girl panicking about, sexting gone wrong. So they do encounter things online, and they just call us in like a situation of crisis. We also see concerning parents. They are lacking information about what's going on online. They are worried, but they also need to talk about it. And they turn to the helpline because, it's confidential, and they don't want to admit to someone they know that, they're insecure and they don't know things that go on online. So we also see how much, I said it before, how much it can hurt, to have like your breakup out there and the new love, and also, let me check. Sharing personal info in trust, and then, problems that arise because someone else doesn't respect this trust you've given them and just would share your information out there. And also, this is very important for me to say, because we see it a lot. Boys call the helpline a lot, and they really have a need to talk about sex. They just don't want to talk to friends or parents, it's embarrassing, whatever, and they just want to talk about it. What is it? They have questions. So we see it's really important to just offer a place where they can talk, and where they don't have to like look at someone when they talk about it. So to sum up, when something goes wrong, they need help, but they are afraid that they, made a mistake. They've done something wrong. Maybe they're ashamed. Maybe they feel misunderstood by their parents, or they just don't have anyone to talk to. So all of this are reasons for them to turn to the helpline and ask for help. So what they're looking for is a safe place to talk. And again, it's so important that counseling is confidential, because it really, I think in most cases, it really enables them to talk about it in the first place. So this is also something that I feel is very important about helpline work. In most cases, we are the first point of contact. So talking to us, counselors, is the first time they talk about the problem. So they're kind of like breaking the silence. It sounds so dramatic, but usually it kind of like, it opens the door. And sometimes it helps to just talk. It's very important and not always easy to really, really, really listen. And just listen. Look at the individual case. So what I do a lot is ask questions, and I ask them to explain. So, help me understand what's going on. And then, what's also, you remember the case I presented about the girl that wanted to meet this guy she had met and how everything was so great? So what's also important in counseling is to like softly question their behavior, and maybe try to ask a couple of questions why everything is so perfect here, and maybe it hadn't been perfect before somewhere else. So to question their behavior and then start talking about risks, maybe. So that case, for the teenager, it was like true love, finally. And for the parents, it's like, this is like grooming. This is gonna be grooming. There's like many things you can discuss at the helpline, and we just see that it's really, really important to just be there and offer a safe place to talk. What's very important in counseling is that we don't tell them what to do, but together with them, we try to look for ways and things to do to make them feel better. So, you know, it's their situation, it's their life. They know best what they can and what they want to do. But together, you know, we can come up with ideas. Yeah, so I really, truly believe it. It really helps to talk about it. So this is like our mission. Let's talk about it, and together we can find out what to do. Sometimes it's just, you know, a talk. And as counselors, it's important that when they call in a situation of panic, we just have to be there, just be calm, just, you know, catch them. It really helps. You know, we all know, I guess we all made the experience that when you just talk about something, you just feel better, even if you didn't find a solution for your problem. And also, of course, we can then, by looking for things to do and steps to take, build skills. So we can help them to, you know, learn about risks and how to solve their problems. So maybe they can even later on help others too. So a very important part of counseling is also to recommend information and also further help. So there might be cases where they need to see a psychologist or some other professional help, like a specialized help center, and we can then give out information, talk to them about how it works when you go to a psychologist. And of course, always, always, always information. We're a wonderful Safer Internet Center partner, ClickSafe. So I always like to use this slide because we are the national helpline in the German Safer Internet Center. And there's rarely a case where I don't say ClickSafe and hotlines. So, you know, explaining how you can report stuff to the hotlines is also, I think, very important. Also to help build skills, especially at the parents' helpline. So they're always very thankful when they find good information that's made for them. So the helpline can also, you know, help, you know, direct and find the stuff you need. So yeah, all in all, this is kind of what my day-to-day helpline work is. We don't rescue children every day, but we just listen, we are there. So do you think I sometimes get frustrated? Because they just, you know, do their thing online and they don't care about risks, and then the damage is done and it's so hard to fix. You know, you can't take back these pictures. Yeah, of course I get frustrated with them, but also I'm also always so very happy that they did contact the helpline, because they managed to do like the first step towards getting help for themselves. And also, you know, we do see them get better. And sometimes they just need some information. So yeah, and I think in the end it just proves that the work that we all here do is very important. I guess also you as teachers. I'm sure you're approached by children with like problems like this also. So yeah, I just think it's really important that we are there for them whenever they need help, especially young people. So let me finish by reading one of the thank you mails we do get sometimes. So, whenever the situation was particularly bad, I called the helpline. I rejected any kind of further support, but every single conversation emotionally rescued me. There was always this reassuring feeling that there's someone who unconditionally listens, who believes and does not judge me. What you do is important. I'm so glad that this helpline exists. Thank you. So with these warm and fuzzy words, I will end my presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.